Hello, my name is Leonard and I work as the Riverfork Ranch Preserve Manager for the Nature Conservancy. The Nature Conservancy's mission is to conserve the lands and waters on which all life depends. The Nature Conservancy was founded in 1951 and currently works in approximately 72 different countries and has chapters within each state. In the state of Nevada, TNC has been working here for approximately 37 years and protected more than 3 million acres during that time. One of the ways the Nature Conservancy fulfills its mission is through nature preserves. So there are more than 400 nature preserves that exist just within the United States. And within the state of Nevada, there are these preserves where they are featured to protect biodiversity as well as they're places where people can visit and recreate. So in the southern part of the state, there's a 7J Ranch and Torrance Ranch Preserve, and these two are both associated with the Amargosa River. There's a McCarran Ranch Preserve that's located along the lower Truckee River, and there's been approximately 11 miles of the Truckee River restored there. There's Independence Lake, which is in California, and it's located just north of Truckee, and this is where a population of the threatened Lahontan cutthroat trout are located. So people are able to come visit, and there are free kayaks available for people to recreate. And then lastly, the Riverfork Ranch Preserve. That's the preserve where I currently work and is located in the Carson Valley. So at the Riverfork Ranch Preserve, as you can see from the pictures here, there's a mosaic of wetlands and also waterways that head through the 805-acre preserve. And it's actually within the preserve boundaries is where the east and the west fork of the Carson River meet. The Whitehall Interpretive Center is typically the hub of where we have workshops that highlight conservation, ecology, flora and fauna, and the culture of the Carson Valley. This picture shows Buddy Heffiger from the Aldo Leopold Foundation introducing The Green Fire, a documentary on Aldo Leopold. So this is what education and outreach typically looks like. However, in 2020, this instead is what outreach and education and connection looks like, and this is something we've all been adapting to. We're really happy to introduce our new state director, Mauricia Baca. She too was introduced to people throughout the state virtually. So anyone who is not able to make those virtual meetings is welcome to take a look at some of the recorded links, which the Carson Water Subconservancy District will be sharing. The Nature Conservancy hosted a fall webinar series, which was Protecting the Nature of Nevada for Future Generations. The first of those webinars was the Truckee River Headwaters Forest webinar with Mickey Hazelwood, who's the Nature Conservancy's Eastern Sierra Nevada Program Director. So this was really looking at how research is showing how different forest management techniques can help to reduce the potential threats of wildfire and in turn also looking at how those management practices can help protect our water sources. The second webinar was Mining the Sun, and this is looking at researching areas that had previously been disturbed through mining and assessing the feasibility of creating and building renewable energy in these different sites, such as solar panels. Lastly, the Birds of the Mojave Desert webinar was with Len Warren, and he is the Amargosa River Project Manager. Len is an impressively passionate birder, and he is so much fun to learn from. So once again, this is a great webinar, and the links for all of these will be made available. So I encourage everyone to check them out. In the past, we have hosted different bird walks. Jim Woods from Birding Under Nevada Skies has been a great help with this. He's also organized several Audubon Christmas bird counts that have started at Riverfork Ranch. This is a citizen science program that's one of the longest lasting, and so there's been a tremendous amount of data collected, I believe all over the United States, which really shows the changes in bird species and population. So while we've not been able to do the in-person events that we typically do, fortunately, the Riverfork Ranch Preserve and other preserves have remained open, and the trail systems have really been a saving grace throughout the time of the pandemic. This is a map provided by the Carson Valley Trails Association, and they have a really great amount of information on the different trails located within the Carson Valley and up into the mountains. So I highly recommend checking those out. At the Riverfork Ranch Preserve, there is a 2-mile trail that goes through some of the wetland areas. So it's a really neat chance to observe a lot of different birds that typically are flying through. So the Riverfork Ranch Preserve also acts as a working cattle operation. We have been partnering with Lisa and JB Leckenberry. They are the adjacent landowners and own Ranch 1. Lisa's family has been ranching in the area. Essentially, their ranch was the first established ranch. So having this working cattle operation at the preserve gives visitors who might not have a lot of exposure to agriculture a little bit more of an up close look at ranching. And yeah, it also is a really neat way to show how agriculture and conservation can really overlap. So the Riverfork Ranch Preserve is located within the traditional territory of the Washoe tribe, and we were honored to participate in a tribal gathering in conjunction with different different people from the Nature Conservancy in October of 2019. So approximately 50 folks gathered here in this arbor, and yeah, we're really appreciative of the Washoe tribe for assisting with that event and partnering with us. And these are examples of some of the different programs we've had in the past. One of them was a dark sky conservation workshop. Another one was the Feathers and Furs series, which highlighted birds and animals local to the Carson Valley and the Sierras. And then again, we've had a number of different bird walks. Dana Childs hosted some outdoor painting workshops, which were a lot of fun, and she has an amazing ability to work with people of varying skill sets, including my own. I'm not a very artistic person, but with her instruction, I somehow created something that looked quite a bit like mountains and a river. So these are a great way to kind of connect with the local landscape. The the Carson Valley Photography Club has also set up displays within the Whitehall Interpretive Center, and it's really neat to see the building transformed into a gallery featuring art and photographs, many of which are taken within the Carson Valley and locally of both landscapes and wildlife. So this is a really neat event, and we look forward to having them back. We've also engaged in different monitoring programs. We partnered with the Nevada Bugs and Butterflies group. They had put together a workshop on butterfly monitoring. We've also monitored monarch populations at the preserve and worked with the Nevada Department of Wildlife to monitor the western pond turtles, which have been found on the preserve. We also have engaged in various habitat restoration and enhancement projects for many years. Most recently, we've been looking at stream bank stabilization. Part of the reason for this is that the Carson Valley, while it can look very dry at times, it can also look like this. We are certainly located within the floodplain. This is a picture from 2017. So some of our habitat restoration and enhancement projects are looking at trying to develop the most resilient landscape feasible to address some of these more extreme weather events. So some of the stream bank stabilization efforts taking place most recently began in 2019, thanks to funding from the Nevada Department of Environmental Protection. Phase one of this project was dealing with a really steep slope located along what's called the Home Slough, which runs through the Riverfork Ranch Preserve. The Carson Valley Conservation District installed some bioengineering that included some live willow stakes, as well as some coconut coir mat and reseeding. So the photos on the right show monitoring of right after it was installed and then approximately a year after. So we're really encouraged by the initial vegetation response. The second phase was tree planting. So we were able to harvest cottonwood trees from some of the successful Truckee River restorations. The trees you see in this picture have all grown since 2017. So we harvested from there and then transported those trees to the Riverfork Ranch Preserve. Historically, there had been more cottonwood galleries located within the Carson Valley, so we are looking to reestablish some of those and experiment with this transplanting technique. So again, we completed this in January of 2021. We were really fortunate to get these trees in the ground before snow came, and so the timing was really ideal. The third phase of these stream bank enhancements will be planting native shrubs, and we hope to be working with some small volunteer groups again. These are all pictures from 2019. We worked with the Harley-Davidson Financial Services, Patagonia, and Starbucks coffee roasting plant. So hopefully we'll have some folks coming back this spring to help with additional planting efforts. We should be getting these shrubs in March. And then we'll also be continuing to work with the river wranglers on some of these river enhancement projects. And we look forward to working with them on outdoor education and the importance of these habitat enhancements for the health of the watershed. We'll also be partnering with Sierra Nevada Journeys. They too will be doing family and youth education and highlighting family STEM nights, as well as some of the outdoor habitat enhancements and their impacts on local wildlife. So on behalf of the Nature Conservancy staff in Nevada, thank you for listening to this presentation. For any questions or comments or suggestions, please contact me at this number or this email address. Thank you very much.